So Frank Warren joins us live. Tyson's promoter here in the UK. Frank, good morning. Is it happening?
Morning, Jim. Good morning, Simon, Trevor.
Hey,
Frank.
morning. Hi, Frank.
Yeah, we'll find out. We're sending a written offer across today to them. My son George spoke with Eddie Hearn yesterday. So it's us who've made the approach to give AJ a great opportunity to get himself back into the top level against the world champion Tyson. He's willing to make that voluntary defence. So, as I say, we'll send the offer across today, and then obviously they'll have to look at it and decide whether they want to grab this with both hands.
So at last we've got confirmation, Frank, that this is legit. This is legit. A written offer goes from you in the Fury camp to the AJ camp today, saying, right, you up for this?
Correct.
What can you tell us about the offer?
It'll go across today.
Now, what is the offer?
The terms.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not.
Come on, Frank. You can tell us a bit. Tease us with it a bit.
I could tell you, but I'm not going to tell you. Let them. They haven't even seen the terms yet, so I'm certainly not going to be discussing it publicly until.
Well, as Eddie Hearn said, Tyson told Simon and I that on this very show he wants half a bill. So what's he going to get?
He'll get what it's worth, what it gets paid for. That's what he'll get. We're not going to go into the money, Jim. I'm not even going to go there with that. First of all, we've got to a stage where everybody's been saying for years that we stop fights from happening. Well, we've initiated this. We've moved forward, and as I say, we're going to we're sending through what we're prepared to do to make this fight happen, and then they got to consider it.
And where and when?
I'm not going to be talking about money and whatever at this stage of the game.
No, but where and when, Frank? You don't need to talk about money, all right? But in London and when?
In the UK and hopefully in November. That's what we're looking at.
Frank, I mean, listen, looking at the story over the last 6, 7, 8 years, I actually feel Tyson Fury is being the bigger man here, because when Tyson Fury needed this fight, Anthony Joshua wasn't forthcoming and giving it him. But also... He's offering the fight to Anthony Joshua when Anthony Joshua's on the back of 2 losses. So is this perfect timing for Tyson Fury to offer this fight to Anthony?
It's perfect timing, I think, for AJ to accept it. For him to get himself back into a position, either mandatory or to challenge for a world title, it's going to take him a lot of time. So he should grab this with both hands, in my opinion. But to his credit, he has come out. From what I understand, I've seen some of the things that have been said, saying that he would, he's up for it. So that be the case now. I mean, I don't bad mouthing them or the other side. All we're interested in doing is making this fight.
So all of a sudden, it's happening now. Simon, you've been shaking your head while Frank's been talking to us. Have you doubts about this? This is Frank Warren.
No, I don't have doubts about it. I have doubts about the ability to make it, unless there's a tacit acceptance from Anthony Joshua that he's the runt end of the deal and will get what you guys give him. But I'm just curious, Frank, how do you make this fight from the point of view of mandatory defences that Tyson might have to have? How does Anthony jump to the front of the queue to fight Tyson Fury when there'll be mandatory challenges in place?
Right. Let's answer them in the order you said it. First of all, is or in a different order. First of all, there's no mandatory due for another year now. He had his mandatory in April, and as the champion,
he gets to pick his next fight, does he?
So he's got 18 months. So this is a voluntary defence, and I'm quite sure the fact that as AJ, albeit he's lost his last 2, but they were for world titles, and he was world champion. I'm quite sure that there won't be a problem putting that together. As regarding the terms that we are going to put forward, I think, are very, very fair.
I mean, you have to be... Frank, you don't need to give us amounts of money, but we're talking 60-40, right? Something like that.
We'll put it into writing what the terms are and the splits, and then they can make their decision.
Second guess it for me, Simon. What is Frank talking about?
Frank is a wise old operator. Once upon a time, Anthony Joshua dictated the terms. He doesn't dictate the terms anymore. So the dictation to the terms will be from Frank, Bob Arum, and Tyson Fury. And I'm pretty sure Frank is not going to go any further in the discussion, but I would weight it in such a way that it is significantly in Tyson's favour, because he is undoubtedly the A side of the conversation now. Anthony Joshua has nothing to bring to the table besides a reputation right now.
AJ's not going to agree to 80-20, is he? Or something like that.
Well, I'm not even going to go there with that, Jim. But the fact of the matter is, we're not even talking about. We're talking about being very, very fair. Tyson's being extremely fair, and if and when these come out, if they do come out, they want to publicise them, you'll all be shocked.
Frank, how are you going to make this fight work? Because how would you make the fight work in the UK, Frank? Because we are in this world where the numbers that these guys want for these kind of super fights seem to only make financial sense to the Middle Eastern guys. It's brilliant to hear that you're going to make it in the UK or try to make it in the UK. How are you? I mean, we've got Tyson running around saying, "I want 500 million for this." I texted you the other day, we were laughing at it. He's quite happy to give Derek Chisora 2 million quid. He goes from being Arthur and Martha in the same conversation. How do you make it happen in the UK with the kind of numbers that we're led to believe that these kind of fights have to have?
Tyson, how we make it work is that Tyson insists that the fight's in the UK. So it's got to work. That's what's going to happen. He wants to fight here. He deliver to the British fan.
But no one's going to pay you £100 million facility fee, are they? And 94,000 fans at Wembley might generate you 15 million in gate receipts, but it's nowhere near £100 million facility fee,
And it could
is
be
it?
chucking it down in November.
I'll explain. I'll say something. It will deliver a significant gate because I think there's massive interest from the British public. And secondly, it will break all pay-per-view records. It will go through the roof. And whatever it generates is what it's worth. And then they will take their percentage.
But again, I push back on you, Frank. If you get 94,000 fans at Wembley, you'll get 15, 16, 17 million in gate receipts. If you go and get 1.2 million or 1.5 million, where are you going to put it, on BT or multi-platform?
That we are working on. Once they confirm that they're interested and they accept the position where we are, then we'll work collectively to maximise the income between us.
Do you think the scale of this fight in broadcast? I'm not asking you to tell me what people are getting because you're not going to do it. But do you think the scale of this fight? Let's think about 1.5 million pay-per-views, which, by the way, is astronomical. You're only getting 45 million quid there. Do you think the scale of this fight goes above 100 million quid if it's featured in the UK?
It depends what the price of the fight is. Who knows what it's going to be? What it's going to be priced at. I personally think it could hit 2 million buys. I really do.
Well, that's 60 million if you price it at 30 quid.
Sorry?
That's 60 million if you price it at 30 quid.
That's not a bad start, is it?
No, not bad. Not bad.
But remember, but the point, and I hope no one misses the point. The point is, Tyson wants to fight here. That's what he's come out and said. And I think he said before, he said on numerous occasions, if he fights him, he wants to fight in the UK.
So are you confident, Frank, that you and Eddie can put aside any differences that you may or may not have, and that this goes ahead in November?
Well, it's not up to him or me. It's up to Anthony Joshua and it's up to Tyson. They are the two people who are getting in the ring. They're the two guys who have got to look at the terms that we're sending to AJ. He's got to look at it and see where he thinks whether what's being offered to him is worth a chance of getting a crack at the world title.
Frank, why is, besides all the posturing, why has Usyk disappeared into the ether? Why is it being said that Usyk doesn't want to fight Tyson now? Because Tyson is saying that he's running away, he's a middleweight and running away and hiding and playing hide and seek with himself, which is a complete contrast to what the fella said in the ring. Why are we not talking about Usyk versus Fury for the undisputed 4-belt situation rather than giving Anthony Joshua an opportunity?
He won't be ready until March.
Say again, Frank?
Because he won't be ready till March, Usyk, and
Right.
therefore fight before.
Right.
And we made that very clear.
I don't know why we're not giving Tyson Fury credit for wanting to fight in the UK, because we always talk about. I know money.
Because we don't know what Tyson's doing. He goes from one. He goes from feast to
told us
famine.
the other day, Trevor, he wants to fight
Yeah,
in
but
Saudi
listen,
for
he's
and
made
he
the
wants
offer for this
500
fight.
mil for
He's
it.
made the offer for this fight, as Frank's just said. The offer's
Frank,
gone over today.
Here's the
he
thing.
wants to do it in England.
As
The
soon as
fans
you
want
hear
this
back,
fight in
as
England.
soon as you hear back from AJ's camp, that might be before we go off air at 1. Maybe? I don't know. You come back on with us. Are they going to make a decision today?
The offer today, I mean, it's not rocket science. It's just a one-pager. This is not some, with very basic terms on it. This is not rocket science. This is what it is. Here's the pot. Here's how we see the pot being split. Do you want it or not? And that's it.
Seems fairly straightforward to me, Simon. That's why I think we'll get a quick decision. And it ain't going to be no, is it, Frank? Because Joshua wants to do it.
I listened to part of the conversation Eddie Hearn had this morning. He said he wants to fight. Well, we've opened the door and we're letting him in.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.